All right, so I'm going to go over how to draw out the bottom of our box. All right, so I go into my model space. I'm going to use the rectangle tool. All right, and I'm going to draw out a rectangle that is 2.75. And then I press the tab key to get to my other dimension, 2.75. Enter, and that will give me the start of my rectangle. From here, I'm going to go back to the rectangle tool. I'm going to lock to my top left corner and draw out a 1/4 inch, so 0.25, tab again, 0.25 square. So that's going to be the start of those little fingers, all right, that we're going to use to join everything together. So from here, I'm going to grab the copy tool, so CO, enter. I'm going to select that square. All right, I can right click, grab the corner, left click, slide this over, type in 0.5, enter. Slide over to the right a little more, type in 1 and enter, and then escape to get out of my copy tool. So now that I have the 3 fingers that I need, all right, now I need to move them over 3/4 of an inch, or 0.75. So I'm going to use the move tool, which is up here, or I can just type in M and enter. I'm going to select just those 3 squares that I drew, right click, pick my point that I want to grab it from, left click, drag that over and type in 0.75, enter, and that's going to move it right where I need that to be. Then I can press escape to get out of my move tool. So now that I have my fingers where I want them to be, I just need to trim off those 3 spots. So I just need to trim. So the shortcut for trim, TR, enter. And I just want to trim off where those 2 connect. So I just go ahead and trim those. And then escape to get out of my trim tool. So now that I have these fingers here, I want to get them on the other 3 sides. So before I do anything, the first thing I want to do is go down to my O snap tool, which is down here, which is your square with the little square in the top left corner. Click on the arrow next to that, and I want to make sure that my midpoint is checked off. All right, so it should be checked off. If it's not, just make sure you have a check next to midpoint, because that's going to be extremely important here. So I'm going to go up to this array tool, which is up in the top. I want to click on the little arrow next to that. It's going to give me a drop down, and I want to go to polar array. And I select polar array. Now it's asking me to select my objects. I want to select just my fingers that are on here. All right, not the pieces that are between them, just the outsides of those fingers. I want to right click. Now it's asking me for my center point. So I'm just going to drag my mouse till it shows my midpoint here. And then I'm going to come down to my bottom. I'm going to drag that straight up, and it should lock to my other midpoint. And I want to make sure I get those 2 midpoints to intersect. And I click, I left click, and now you can see it arrayed them around that center point. So now it's doing it 6 times. So I only want 4. So I go up to the top here, I highlight 6, type 4, enter, and now you can see it's brought those 4 times around. Escape to get out of the array tool. Now I just need to trim the insides here. So I go back to my trim tool, TR, enter, and I trim off the middles. Escape to get out of my trim tool, and my bottom is all set. So now all I have to do is get this into my paper space, put some dimensions on it, and then go ahead and submit that. That's it for today. Thank you.